Salmonag, everybody. Yes, I think my brother here knows the language better than most people. All the way from blues. Yeah, so I've been doing music videos for a while. I've lost count how many I've done and what the creative process for each one of them was like. But the feeling is always the same, the euphoric feeling when people are commenting, saying, wow, that was so well done, you know. And at the same time, the hardships are the same, the challenges are the same. It's every shoot. No matter the scale, if you have an Aria Alexa or you have a phone, you're always going to be the same challenges throughout wherever you go. So, why did I choose music videos? Maybe let's start with that. Do you have my presentation? Okay, cool. I'll tell you just now to unleash. Okay. Right, so why did I get into music videos? My background is in music. I was trained as a musician. So I play the mirror, I play the keyboard or the piano, I play the guitar, I write music and stuff like that. So it was a natural progression for me. When I look at my face, I'm not going to be on stage anytime soon, and I can't dance to save my life. So for me to advance the cause of music and what music brings to the tapestry of our culture, to the fabric of our society, I thought maybe let me package it. You know, I can still sing. Anyone wants to give me $10, so I but that is no. Okay, cool, good decision. Right, music videos is such a, I don't know, it's a jungle out there, to be honest with you. Just to give you a sneak preview of how crazy it is out there are 13,402 hours of content that YouTube receives every day, and this is where we showcase our work. So the topic is stand out or get noticed as a director. How do you do it in such a jungle? And you'll find that it's so hard for you to find your voice and to get 2 or 3 people to buy into your vision and to do it over and over consistently until you have a name that people can draw inspiration from. So if someone has a calculator right now, I'd like to find out how many hours, how many days is that has been. Remember, this footage has been released today, or is going to be released today. All that 13 hours of footage, of content, nice stuff, some not so nice stuff. But how are you going to stand out? And does even any one of us in our lifetime have time to go through that much content? I don't think. If you have a life, I don't think we have that time. So I looked into some of the strategies that we can, or someone who's coming up can use to slowly separate yourself from the crowd. English, we love English, right? Slowly separate yourself from the crowd and start getting noticed and start getting booked over and over, and build a visual style or a narrative style or whatever it is that appeals to you the most. How can you then, let's say you are so enamored with this thing, you want to do it just like the bug when it beat me. How do you get into it? First and foremost, it's very important to understand yourself as a person or as a director. You need to understand yourself. What influences do you lean into naturally? If you walk into a supermarket and people are talking about something, does it make you stop and listen, or maybe contribute to the conversation? So there's something ingrained in all our DNAs that just comes out whenever our tribe is around, So with me, as musicians, it's like we're best friends wherever we are. And it's more less about the work and about exploring each other's creative gaps, for us to come up with something big. Can we go to the next group? How do you get into it? The first thing to understand is that there are so many different types of music videos. 1, 2, 3, there are 3 of them, right? So when you've now said you want to do this, do your research, and when you do your research, you'll find out that you have performance music videos, right? These are music videos that you see where it's mostly the artist who's singing and some dancers and some cool set design, and so on and so on, right? And then going forward, you've got, I think I listed some examples there. The first one, that's Diamond Platnumz, who makes the best, I think, performance music videos in Africa that I've seen. They pay attention to so much attention to detail when it comes to costuming, set design, lighting, cinematography. All that comes into play as they, as they do their ideation. The next one down the row is something that was done by a young man that I respect so much. He's Zimbabwean, right? His name is Kudzi, and he's doing very well in South Africa, defining the amapiano genre through his visuals. So when I see that kind of progress happening from people, from my country, I feel very blessed to have been one of the first people to show people that it's possible. With whatever you have, you can start from wherever you are. I remember meeting some young music video directors right now who are trending right now at the beginning of their careers, and they're just like me. They didn't know where am I going to go, where do I even start. So the day that I started doing music videos, maybe let me tell you a story. There was this guy was selling cameras. I had no money to buy cameras, but I wanted to go shoot something. So I go to the guy at his shop and I asked him, how much is that one? The coolest one I could find. He gave me the price. I'm like, yeah, okay. Do you have the latest one that comes after that? He's like, no. Then I'm like, okay. Do you mind if I just take this for a spin and then, bring it back in a couple of hours and just see how it works in a real world environment? He was like, yeah, I can bring it back tomorrow. You have no idea. First thing I take up my phone, call my boys who are from the hood that I stayed, who do music every day, they perform at the shows. Guys, we are shooting now. We are right now. Come here. So we met in a small bushy area, and from that day, I then became a director. Out of nowhere, it's like, everyone is here, they're like, okay, so what do we do? Everyone looks at me, I'm like, oh yeah, what do we do actually? I have no idea what we're supposed to do, but I like the song. Okay, so what does it sound like? So this is now the ideation process when I'll be jumping back and forth, Alex, for those points, yeah. This is now the ideation process. It can happen on the spot. You can actually be asked to do it right now. And the cameras are there, the people are there, what are you going to do? So I had to rely on my wild imagination to say, okay, this song, the name of the song is called Godobori, by the way. And it's like, Shona is like, really strong witch doctor, right? So this guy said, I'm a musical Godobori. So quickly, I think as many directors who have done films and others, you find that horror and comedy are usually the low-hanging fruits when it comes to how you get into any music videos. So the first thing in my mind was like, okay, go to horror, let's go. But I have no idea how to shoot that. Long story short, we shot it. It was done. End of the day, community was happy. Then the problem comes now when I have to edit this thing, because I just use this camera with all these megapixels, and my computer is, it's one of those things. So I'm telling this story to remind people that, the thing that you wish to do or you want to do right now, start gathering all the information about how you're going to do it before you actually do it. Because when the chance comes, you must have at least one. This is how creativity works. If you take one foot and put it there, it's only natural that the next foot is going to come. So usually, relying on intuition has always been something that I've done very well. However, as time goes on, you'll find that there's need to plan. There's need to plan things out, there's need to create a storyline, and so on. That's when you jump into the storytelling music videos. I think this is where most people know my stuff from. I've tried to say, okay, we have a song is nice, people are going to get it very soon. Okay, never mind. What we're gonna do is attach something to it, a real personal experience or feeling or journey or someone's journey that someone in Murambinda, they can look at it and say, oh, that's exactly what happened to me, or this is what happened to so and so. Everyone has a story to tell, and all stories are very amazing, actually. Each one of us has amazing stories to tell. This is why I decided to say, okay, this is my space now. I'm going to work from storytelling music videos. Why? Because I want to be a film director one day when I grow up. And this is the perfect place to start. Music videos make you understand production value. They make you understand what do you call this in English? The value chain, right? And then the production hierarchy and things. It is a playful way for you to find your voice, right? So here we are. The next thing we have experimental music videos. That's just the weird stuff that people like Dave Myers and the Little Homies do for Ludacris and Caesar. Not this one. And Caesar and Kendrick Lamar. I'm sure you've seen the music video for Be Humble. Yeah. So those are the kind of music videos that present an out of this world kind of concept. They're experimental, they don't have to make sense all the time, or at home. In short, they're just weird. So I like most of them when I'm chilled out and I want to, experience how far someone's mind can explore into unknown stuff and things like that. So now you know the 3 types of music videos. The question is, where do you lean in as an individual? Remember the first thing we said, we need to get to know the person, the director, yourself. You have to know yourself. It's easy for people that have an art background, art direction background, like Twillings over there, right? He's one of the guys that are coming out very strong in terms of set design, production design, all of that. So he has a great chance of being able, or opportunity of doing crazy sets for his music videos should he decide. And right now he's going through the process of meeting all the artists that he can, and all the other directors. He's learning a lot from it. So if you have an art background like him, these are the best picks for you. If you like drawing things, if you like painting things, if you like color, if you like graphic design, if you like all of that, first thing, try and work with performance music videos from this first part. And then, if you are like me, who likes to talk too much, and likes to steal the limelight every time when there's a bride, and wants to, let me tell you about the other time, that's you there. These people usually have, like I said, a music background, because you then understand the lyrics from a different, or from a creator's point of view. And then, these are the people that read lots of stuff as well, and write lots of stuff. Like me, I read lots of stuff. Anything I can find my hands on, whether it's a newspaper from 1975, if I have 5 minutes, I'm going to read it. When I let my imagination grow and see what's happening. The poets as well. If you have a poetry, literature kind of background, this is where you are. If you find yourself telling a simple thing of Jenny going from point A to point B, instead of saying Jenny went to the shops, right? You end up saying, on that very fine morning, as the sun was whatever, and the streaks were hitting into the window, creating a diamond shape on her bed, Jenny arose from her slumber. Arose from her slumber and put one foot. She went to the shops. So those are 2 different, ways of. I'm the guy who talks like that, by the way. So that became a great fit for me. And then we've got the weird guys. Right? You've got the weird guys. I think if we just look at the screenshots that I chose for there, are from my own attempt at creating the weird vibe. Like just coming up with costumes that, don't even have to make sense or are not based in anything. and the community that doesn't even exist, but based on certain, observations about our own culture as well, with little sprinkles of this and that. That's where you are as a person, right? Right. So, okay. There's this thing of understanding the audience, right? When I do my research about my own creative journey, I come across this guy called Rick Rubin, one of the biggest music producers. He says the audience doesn't matter. Like, what do you mean the audience doesn't matter? Like, no, do your thing. The audience doesn't matter. If it was near a different place, I would have used. He knows what I'm talking about. Okay, so the first thing when understanding your audience is knowing that you don't know what they want, and knowing that they don't know what they want. That's the first thing. I remember doing this video here for Job Presa called Kwasha. It was my least favorite project ever. And as soon as it was done and they say we're uploading it, I was like, I'm going home, I'm going to bury myself. There's a lot of things that I didn't like about it. But today it's actually the highest viewed, one with the highest views of everything in my catalog. So later on, when I was now reflecting, what is this? Then I found that there was something new or novel about the idea of Mkwasha. A lot of people didn't know that Mkwasha, my son-in-law, goes through so many things. It is viewed mostly by people outside of Zimbabwe than those in Zimbabwe. And the comments will say, you give us something that we never knew. Say, you guys go through that. There's a guy from the States who called me actually. Man, telling you guys go through all that? I mean, you're already part of the family. Why do you need to go through all that? Is that the alarm for my time being? Okay, cool. So this is what, understand the audience and know that whatever you feed the audience, if it's coming from, let me close that. If it's coming from an authentic place, if it's coming from what you feel and believe as a person that this is the best way to portray this piece of music or this video clip, then do it. If you find that there are things that you don't even agree with on your own edit or on your own final cut, then you're not being sincere. And people are going to see through it. They will be like, okay, it's cool, man. So real emotion and real story, something that comes from deep, will always be seen from a mile away. So my last closing would be to say, do it from here. If you really want to step out and be seen, I'm not going to say why. Do it from here and make sure that people hear your voice. And by the way, that music video, the first one that I did on the first day, it had 93 views. I'm like, what do you mean to tell me if I could bring 93 people and put them here and they'll all be looking at what I did? This is cool. And that's became my motivation throughout. 1 million views, I'm like, so there's 1 million views that are actually sitting down at home. People just call them views. Those are people who sit down and invest their time to see what you've done with your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Blaqs. We also want to do this.